friends, are you looking for a fun and easy date night? Well, I'm going to show you how we make homemade sushi. We're going to start by making the rice, and we love this jasmine broken rice. And I realize this is not the perfect rice for sushi, but we love it, and that's what we're going to use. So we're going to get that cooking in our rice cooker. And then here are all of our ingredients. We're going to be making some different kinds, our favorite kinds, and this is the stuff that we're going to use. I started with some green onions, and I just sliced those in pieces I thought were about the size of sushi rolls, and then I threw some in a bowl of ice water, because when you do that, it'll curl up a little, and then you can use those little curly cues for some garnish. It's really pretty. And then I cut up some mini cucumbers into just little thin slices. And I like to put everything on a tray, so it's nice and pretty and easy accessible when we make our sushi. Now we use some pickled carrots. Now that's not something you see every day in sushi, but it was something that we thought would be colorful and fun and tasty. And we also use some pickled asparagus. Same thing with that. Not something you see all the time in sushi, but use your favorite things. Do something different. Experiment. It's just for fun. And then we use some imitation crab, some just like this for the roll, and then I chop some up to make some spicy crab dip. And I'm going to speed up this video so you can see. I just chopped it in really small pieces. I put in some cream cheese, some mayonnaise, and some sriracha. And I just stirred that all together. Now, it might not be the exact recipe they use at the sushi restaurant, but it was perfectly tasty for us and something that we had and we were able to make easily. Now I put that on my tray as well, so it looks all neat. And then I love cream cheese in sushi, so I just cut up some slices of cream cheese and put those on the tray as well. Now I did get this frozen shrimp tempura, so I'm going to put that in the air fryer and let that get cooking. That was nice and easy to use. And then I'm going to make some, I guess you could call it spicy mayo. I just use mayo and sriracha. And I put that in a Ziploc bag so I could cut a hole in the end and then use that to put on top of the sushi so it looked really pretty at the end. You'll see once we get making these. And then we also did have some smoked salmon, and I just cut that up into little strips. I like to prep everything before we actually get the sushi on the table ready to make, because then it's just more of a kind of a fun date night experience that we can both do together. So I cut up some avocado as well. Now we're going to make the sushi rice. And if there's one thing I would say to do right, it's this step, because sushi rice has a distinct flavor. You may not notice it when you're eating sushi, but it does. It's a little bit sweet, so we add some sugar and some salt, and then this rice vinegar. Now you can look online for a recipe, but I used about a quarter of a cup of the rice vinegar, about 3 tablespoons of sugar, and about a teaspoon of salt, and then mix that all together. Hey friends, we're gonna put the sushi together. This is a super fun date night idea, and I really think that you can put whatever you want in it. It doesn't matter if pickled asparagus doesn't usually go on sushi. It's what you like and how you want to make it. So really, the sky's the limit. Put whatever you want in there. We chose not to do anything raw only because it sketches me out to do it at home. Like, the sushi experts know what they're doing and we do not.
And the fact that we live in Wisconsin, so we're not close to any ocean where we can get really good sushi grade fish.
But we did get this sushi making kit a few years ago, so we have done this a few times. It's a perfect date night activity because you do it together. Yeah, I just love it. I think it's been great. We've done it a few times. So what came in here are some of these mats and a knife and some chopsticks.
The world's sharpest knife. In fact, if you're looking for a sharp knife, just buy the sushi kit. You'll have a great one.
So one thing we always do is we wrap our sushi mats in this cellophane. And while I'm doing this, I think that my husband's going to go shut that microwave off, or it's going to beep this whole effect.
What are we making in the microwave?
I think it's the tea.
Yeah, boba.
So you wrap your mat. That's just going to keep it clean, and you're not going to have to, I don't even know what you'd have to do if you didn't wrap your mat. It would be a real nightmare.
Because this rice is very sticky.
Yeah.
What's different about this rice? There are a few things different, right?
I might have already said it in the voiceover, but if you, we do love that broken rice. And again, not traditional sushi rice, but you know what? It's what we like, and that's what we use because we're making it. And this, you do it your way. You know, you do it how you like it. You're gonna eat what you like. So make it how you like it. Here you go, honey. Okay, so maybe some things you can't see in the video. We have some salmon, smoked salmon, and some shrimp tempura. Just from the box that I showed you earlier. This is like our spicy mayo that I made. I put it in a baggie and cut a little hole in it. We have some sriracha, we have some black sesame seeds. A lot of this stuff we just got at Walmart. I mean, you can't find sriracha anywhere, so it's generic, but it doesn't have to be, it's gonna look fancy. It doesn't have to be fancy ingredients. You put in what you wanna do. The one thing I will say is don't skimp on making that sushi rice. It needs that rice vinegar and the sugar and the salt. It has to have that to really, I don't know what makes it. If you just use plain rice, I just don't think it's gonna be quite as good. So, okay, now we have regular nori, but William and I, we actually both like soy paper also, which is very not flavorful. So any of you people who think that you don't like sushi because it tastes fishy or whatever, I mean, you could definitely use this. I'll just give you one right away to work with because it's not going to taste fishy at all because what's fishy is the nori. So we'll make a few. I'll probably only make one with this because we just don't like it as well. But you do you, right?
The nori, in case you don't know much about sushi, is a form of seaweed, and it does have kind of a fishy taste.
Here's what we're gonna do. Remember, everyone, I'm just like a home cook. I just like to do fun stuff. I'm not perfect. And William is legally blind. If you haven't watched our channel before, William's legally blind. So he has some central vision. Think about like this, looking out of a tunnel, and it's blurry. So he's gonna do his best. And we're gonna laugh. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna eat it. It's
misshapen
gonna be delicious.
And not tight and all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fun. Now, I personally like rice on both sides. So
especially with a nori roll, that actually kind of cuts some of that fishiness, I think, if you put rice on both sides of a nori roll.
Yeah, so you can just go ahead, honey, and just make what you want to make.
So one thing that's real important, and like Sarah said, I don't see that well. I'm doing like the top third, right, up here, is you want to make sure you have good coverage of your paper. You don't want to skimp, like she said. You don't want to skimp when you make it, but you also don't want to skimp when you fill your roll.
If you're going to skimp anywhere, skimp on the inside because that's going to be rolled up, but this outside bit is going to be, on the outside, so you're going to want that to look right. So
if I'm not putting it on the outside, I just have a row, right?
No, you have to put it all over.
Oh, I do spread it? Okay.
You have to spread it all across. And then my sushi had my nori ripped when I pulled it out of the bag, so it's going to be a little delicate here. But then we're just going to flip that over. I'm going to move these out of the way so you can see me a little bit better.
And if you're an extremely patient parent, this could be very fun to do with children too.
You can try to get it a little bit thinner.
Okay.
Wet fingers helps a lot.
Okay. Extremely patient parent or extremely patient with your handicapped husband. Let's say it like that.
If you're an actual sushi chef and you're watching this, feel free to just swipe away.
Or leave your best tips. And we know how it goes. Like, people don't like everything we do, and that's fine. We get something for everyone, hopefully.
Now, we're going to just put in whatever is your favorite stuff. And I'm going to use some carrots and some cucumber. I love cream cheese inside of sushi. So I'm going to put that in.
And if you happen to be watching us tonight and you haven't seen our recent video where we surpassed 2,000 subscribers, make sure you take a look at that one and leave a comment below in that video, and you have a chance to win a local treat from Wisconsin, Stella's cheese bread. It's wonderful. You'll love it, and it'll be well worth your time if you comment and win. Promise you that one.
And then once you think you have enough stuff in there, you're just going to start rolling and really squishing. Rolling and really squishing.
You really don't even have to skimp on the ingredients, do you, honey? You can really enjoy it. She's had some really big ones before. What am I looking at here? Is that?
That's cucumber.
Okay.
And then we have these black sesame seeds. I feel like these really do add a lot to it. So I'm going to add these all on top of here. They're just kind of cute. Now, I'm going to put this over on our cutting board before I cut it. Actually, no, I'm going to do that after I cut it. So then you just want to cut these. I think the key is to cut it in half and cut it in half and cut it in half to get the right sizes. No, you're going to be like, well, it's already looking kind of messy and stuff. You know what? It's fine, because once you put it on your tray and you do all the little extras to it, it's going to look so cute. I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. So we have this. We're just going to use this white tray. And then you can line them, you know, any way you want. Keep them together or separate them, however.
And just in this one, I tore my roll, but because it continues to roll, it's okay. Right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put these 6 side by side.
There you go.
Nice. Set it right in there, yeah.
And your ends might not be that full. We've had that before. A lot of times when we're not filming, those are our sample bites.
I was just going to say, I'm going to pull that over because I'm going to sample that. Now I'm going to use this spicy mayo I made. And I'm just going to drizzle that all like this. Make it look pretty. And see what I mean? Like it doesn't, they start to shape up. And even though they weren't that pretty going forward. And then you can even do just like 1 dab of sriracha.
Just whatever your taste enjoy.
Yeah, they just start to look pretty once you start to add those little
And they're
details.
impressive on a tray. It may not be as tight as you want. I'm not sure. How is it?
I'm not sure.
In a bad way?
No.
Oh. It's a kind of a wonky one. It's got a little bit of everything in it. Okay. It's imitation crab with cream cheese, avocado. That's what you don't like. Pickled asparagus and pickled carrot and cucumber. So it's got a little bit of everything.
But see how the tray's already starting to look cute? So.
All right, everybody got to watch the blind guy make one. Now I'm going to do some observing.
Are you serious?
So we have pretty ones. Because you'll notice that I left the rice off the back side. So it looks like I have a salmon exterior. But
no, that's okay. You won't believe how much rice actually goes in this. I think I made more than 3 cups of rice. And we're only going to end up getting maybe, you think 5 rolls?
4 or 5 at the most, yeah.
Yeah.
We've done this. This is probably our 5th time doing this, maybe 6th even. And I would think every time we always wish we had more rice.
Yeah. This time I'm going to put my sesame seeds on before I...
Nice. Fancy little twist. What are you making?
I don't know. I'm sure.
It'll be a Sarah roll. So we're not sure what that is, but whatever she makes here, we'll call it the Sarah roll.
A little less rice on the inside since we're already running out.
And instead of $16.95 at your local sushi restaurant, it's free at the Gilkey's if you're in the neighborhood. How about you? If you're watching, what sushi rolls do you like at your local sushi place? And are you adventurous? My brother-in-law, Mark, is very adventurous with sushi. And he's one of those kind of guys that was regular enough. He'd go into a place and they'd give him a freebie or 2. And we went with him one time and they gave us a freebie. And it was heart-shaped. And it looked like it had these wonderful little sugar balls on top. But they were fish eggs. And it was a really fishy, non-sweet heart. So I'm not sure if they gave it to us because they were trying to get those out on clearance or if that was something special, but it was a little too grown up for my taste. He also had the nori in a cone, big cone shape, like you'd eat a snow cone, filled with a crab salad. And the crab salad was really tasty, but that nori was really, really a grown-up item.
I would say for you and I, we're probably more of the adventurous sushi people. Because we know people who obviously they won't even touch it. And you know what? If you think about it, soy paper, it's like a soybean. You'd eat edamame, right?
Yeah.
And rice and
Vegetables. Imitation crab.
Fried shrimp. Like, I know some people who would eat all of those things separate, but wouldn't even think about putting sushi in their mouth because it's sushi. Because everybody just thinks, oh, that means it's raw fish. No, it doesn't mean it's raw fish.
They'll swear they hate sushi and they never even try it.
Yeah.
No, I've been a little more adventurous. I've been to Japan and tried some pretty intense things. Had octopus and the raw fish, sashimi. And I like some of that, actually. The yellowtail, I think it might be a tuna. I like that. And I like the spicy tuna. So there are some things I like. I did have eel with my brother-in-law. And I found out I don't eel well when I eat that because it was a little too much for me.
But eel sauce, on the other hand, is really good.
That one's pretty.
I'm not quite done with it yet.
One thing I learned when I got married to my wife is she's a real big proponent of eating with your eyes before you eat with your mouth. And so presentation means a lot to her. I was a guy, you know, I was really utilitarian. I just like taste, mostly fast food, to be honest with you. And she's really helped me come a long way in developing that because some of her food can really be pretty.
For me personally, I think this generic sriracha doesn't really taste like sriracha. And there's a carrot. And I don't think it's quite as hot. So I think William's going to be fine eating that.
And I can handle regular
a little
sriracha.
bit hot. Yeah, that's true. A little bit of hot.
Speaking of acquired tastes with fishy things, we went to Chinatown one time with a friend and they ordered something that was very grown up. Like you could smell it across the table. And I had no idea how they even took a single bite of that dish because it was pretty off-putting from the get-go, did you think?
Yeah, have you ever ordered those things from like a Chinese restaurant that looks like the Kraken's in there?
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was. Like a miniature Kraken. Okay, we got our final product ready to try. Made some boba tea.
There's a video on that too if you want to check out the shorts.
Do you want to, let's just take a few of our favorites and then go from there. Some of these aren't that sturdy.
I usually have her help me because I don't see well and could really mess up this whole tray.
Oh, like that?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to pause the video a minute too and say grace, and then we'll be right back. Okay. I'm no expert with these. I'm usually better with a fork, but I want to do traditional.
These are going to be funny because this is way too big for one bite, so it's going to make a mess, but... Try at home sushi. It's fun. It's delicious. You're gonna love it.
Very tasty. Quite fun. Nice job, honey.
So good. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.